Hi, Eddie Murray, former Detroit Lion. Make sure you watch Mike on Mike on YouTube.
What's going on YouTube? This is your boy Mr. Micro Mike, and today I'm going to talk grades for our Detroit Lions against the Los Angeles Chargers in Week 2. Before I get into the video, I want to say a huge shout out to you all. Yesterday I broke massive records when I did my live stream, and it's all thanks to you guys. It was a super success, and I love all the feedback that I'm getting. I'm going to keep doing it every single Sunday because I love that play-by-play. If you have not seen my channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for all my notifications, and leave me a comment and tell me what you think about the Lions did yesterday, as well as the grades. Let's go ahead and start this bad boy. We'll start with the quarterback position, Mr. Matthew Stafford. He had 22 for 30, 245 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and my grade for our quarterback is a B-. I struggled and almost gave it a C+, but decided to ultimately go with the B-. The reason I did this is those 2 interceptions were fairly bad. Specifically, that last one was really bad. It was rough. He did not have his best game that he's had. He can do better than that, and I know he can. But the reason that I decided to be a little bit lenient is, man, he had that spidey sense. He didn't get sacked at all yesterday. And of course, the final 2 drives where he scored that insane touchdown to take the lead in the final play where he got the first down to win the game. That is huge. That is huge in my opinion, so that elevated his grade to a B-. And what's good about this, folks, is we beat a Chargers team who was a playoff team, and we did it with the ability of making mistakes. Now, we can have mistakes that we can correct going forward against the Eagles. But my grade for Matthew Stafford is a B-, and there's many things he can improve on, and I'm sure he will get to work to do so. Let's go ahead and talk about the running back position. And I am giving the running backs a B- as well. Again, Kerryon Johnson, he didn't have a whole lot of plays this game, and he got injured in the game, and that's kind of sucks. Hopefully it's not a long-term injury, and he can go ahead and get better, but he only had 12 carries for 41 yards. But we did utilize Ty Johnson as well as C.J. Anderson, and we just did enough. And there is room to improve. But you can see that Darrell Bevell is really trying to push this Lions team to run, and I like it. Even though it's not 100% successful just yet, they're not giving up on the run, and that's huge because in years past they would just go ahead and give it up and give Matthew Stafford basically everything to do to get that offense going, and I like the fact that we are sticking to the run no matter what, and you have to. You just have to. Let's jump to the wide receivers. I'm going to give them a solid B. They made some good plays, man. Kenny Galladay with that clutch touchdown. Marvin Jones had a couple passes he caught for first downs, and it was good. However, there was a couple drops. Again, they have work to improve on, and I'm going to go ahead and throw the tight ends in the mix as well here. James had a good catch. TJ Hawkinson, he was not in the game like he was last week. However, the tight ends were utilized a lot in pass protection and blocking, and that was huge when it comes to protecting our quarterback. So I give these guys a solid B. They did well. There's still improvement to do, and that's good again, folks. We played against a good team, and not too bad in my opinion. Not too bad. And again, I threw the tight ends in there as well. They did solid blocking, and it really helped. It really, truly did. Let's go ahead and jump to the offensive line. I'm giving these guys a B+ to an A-. Man, Terrell Crosby, huge shout out to you. I know you got some help, but Stafford was clean with 0 sacks. He still had to get out of the pocket a little bit and run around, but simply no sacks was a much better job than Taylor Decker did. and the rest of the offensive line did well against a pass rush of the Chargers that is scary. The improvement they do need to work on, though, is opening up those holes for our running game, and that's why I did not give them the A- and decided to go a B+. I feel like they did well. They did well better last week, specifically big improvement, and they did better than last year in my opinion, but there's still things to improve on, and that's good. That's good, and I feel like they will. Once they understand the scheme, because the scheme, folks, is new with Darrell Bevell, it will get better, and they don't have to think about the play. They can just react to it. And at that point, that's when you're going to see a little more smooth on offense. But in my opinion, they're doing well. They're improving so far from week 1 to week 2, and that is what you want to see. Congratulations, offense. Let's go ahead and throw it to the defensive line here. Man, I'm going to go ahead and give them a solid C+. I felt like again they didn't live up to what they should be doing. I don't know again if it's their lack of conditioning, since a lot of these guys didn't participate a lot in training camp, the big boys, and so they're starting a little bit rough. However, they did well in the first quarter. They kind of muffed up a little bit in the second, third, and they held strong again in the fourth. And there is definitely room for improvement, specifically the pass rush. I think it does have to do with conditioning, and these guys do have to improve. Snacks Harrison's got to improve more. A'Shawn Robinson did much better. Trey Flowers did well with stopping the run. We still want to see a better pass rush out of these guys, and there's definitely room to improve. And I do believe we'll see it. I don't think this is something that's going to plague us all season. I think as the weeks go on, they get more conditioned to the speed of the game, since they didn't play a lot, and that will help. That will help. Let's jump to the linebacking core. I'm giving these guys a solid B, near B+. I feel like these guys did well, given the circumstances of the defensive line not performing well. They are doing well with stopping the run. They still got to do better when tackling. That is the main issue here. I think when Jared Davis gets back, you're going to see a giant improvement on the linebacking core. You're going to see an improvement all over the defense. He's the signal caller. He is the leader on that defense. He brings the energy, and he almost came back this week. Folks, we got the win without him. That's great. Hopefully it comes back for the Eagles. I think he does play versus the Eagles, and you're going to see an improvement big time when it comes to linebacking core. Tavai with the clutch, punching the ball out on the goal line for a fumble. This guy is everything, and plus, Kennard is doing great as well. These guys are doing well. I love what I'm seeing. It is not a weakness on this team, this linebacking core. They're coming out to be a definite strength for his team, and I can't wait for Jared Davis to be back with Tavai. Those guys are going to be a 1-2 combo that's going to be scary in the NFL, and it's going to really help our defense out. And I love what I'm seeing. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a... Let me jump to a B+. I will jump to a B+, just given the circumstances of the defensive line, plus the Jared Davis being out. They're doing a good job, and I'm proud of them. Let's go ahead and jump to the secondary. I'm giving this a B-, almost C+. It felt like Phillip Rivers was starting to carve us up a little bit, and Keenan Allen was definitely doing a good job there by getting, he had a bunch of receptions, near 100 yards. I felt like we left a lot of play on the field. That drive in the end of the first half where they scored they got that field goal to make it 10-6. Man, that prevent defense has got to stop, and I feel like we can do better. I felt like Walker wasn't at his best game, but again, it's okay in my opinion. These are the Chargers. It was a 12-4 win team last year. Slay was getting burnt, I felt like, a lot during the game, but what really solidified that B status was the amazing interception. The big play Slay really pulled it out, man, at the end. And he won the game for us, man, with that turnover, that pick. Awesome job, Darius Slay. Look, you got to beat a lot in that game, but you turn around and you make the play of the game to solidify the win for the Detroit Lions. hats off to you. Awesome job. Rashawn Melvin is turning out to be a very solid number 2. Absolutely love it. Great job. And keep it up, man. Keep it up, because we definitely need it. It's definitely needed, and it's very positive for us for this defense to continue. Let's go ahead and jump to special teams. Straight F. That was the worst special teams I've seen. Man, nothing went right. The kicking, we missed field goals, missed an extra point. The even holding the ball for the kicker was bad. The muffed by Agnew again due to a penalty. It saved us for turning the ball over. And the penalties and special teams is absolute garbage. And it's not looking good. They have to square it up. The one thing I will give credit to is they pulled Agnew and threw in Amendola to stop the muff punt. But the penalties and special teams is garbage. And so a straight F. There's nothing good there at all. I think maybe when it comes to punting. But other than that, it was bad. Let's jump to the coaching. I'm giving this a D. Man, I just feel like that on defense, I don't know why we're doing this prevent stuff. Prevent doesn't work in my opinion. Let's stay on there. I want to see more blitzes, and I'm not sure if it's due to Jared Davis not in there, but I do want to see more blitzes on defense. I feel like they can go ahead and call it up a little bit. Let's get more pressure on the quarterback. Offensive play calling, I felt went well. I did like that aggressive play calling at the end to solidify the game to get the first down. Darrell Bevel is a positive in my opinion. What really hurt us was the coaching by special teams. That thing dropped it down. That guy's on notice. If he doesn't get his stuff together, they may have to give him the axe. This is 2 straight weeks of absolute garbage special teams play from him, so he's on notice. As well as Patricia needs to be aware of clock management. I felt like we could have went and stopped them at the end of the first quarter and at least been aggressive to get some more points. We didn't do that. We got to get better. We got to get better on awareness of time and clock management. That's vital. It was better than last week, though, because last week was bad. But come on, man. You can do a better job. With that said, folks, that is my grades. Tell me what your grades are, and give me your opinion, what you thought that took place. With that said, folks, adios.